This theme is going to come rushing in on us, ladies and gentlemen. We are about to discuss one of, well, I think for women it has become a huge issue. But like Mia was just saying, we don't really know certain things. We just kind of float along in certain assumptions. But let me just test this idea with you. The idea is of being able to tell the difference, Mia, between when we are in love and when it's just a passion or a passing thing. I mean, we get emails, dear, all the time from people asking this basic question: how do I tell if it's love? And as you know, we just had a talk with someone who struggles with this, wanting to be in love but unsure whether it's happening. So for today's show, let's pull back first and broaden this topic, okay? Let me ask, how do we know when we are actually in love? What are some of the sure signs which should tell us? What about, and also, when do we know it's just passion?
Well, love actually it's gonna come with a little time. First, when you meet somebody, you have the, passion, infatuation. You think that's the new God in your life, and it's the hottest thing you ever met, and you are so enthusiastic about that person, and you can only think of that person night and day, and they are the next perfect God.
Oh, they're up on the
life.
pedestal, the podium, way
but you
up
know
on
what?
us.
Time is the only thing that show love. And I always say, like I said in the beginning of the show, is the simple little things. You're going with a man, is he considering of you? You're going out to dinner, is he letting you make a choice? He's making a choice. Is he worried about you? Are we balanced here? Are you both paying the bill? He's allowing you to pay the bill. It's, the little thing that makes you happy. It's when you're having sex, is he worried about his orgasm, or he wants to make sure you reach your pleasure? And afterwards, after the orgasm, does he turn around and sleeps and farts? Or he kind of talks to you and holds you tight and wants to know how things were? It's all the little things, right? Does he work, keeps his mind busy? And is this man challenging you, or you as a woman challenging the man that you're with? Are you trying to make each other better human beings? That, for me, what true happiness is. We are here together, interwoved in this planet, interwoved together, living in one house or apart. But are we together even though when we are apart? Am I thinking of you, and then suddenly you call me and say, I was just thinking of you? Do we have a telepathic communication, or is our communication only physical? But the only thing that will tell you it's time. Because in the beginning we all have that infatuation, and after a few months you go, first he was perfect, and now I'm really seeing the color. He's not. He's careless. He doesn't really care about me.
He flirts with my girlfriends,
Yeah, and then
right.
You're going to start feeling used. And then you ask yourself, then you can see. It's evident, but sometimes we don't want to see it. We only see the positive side of the man because we decided that's the perfect guy for us. And then you married, you do whatever, and you go, how I didn't see that monster 20 years, and he was the greatest jerk I ever met.
Yeah.
How did I fall in love with such an evil man? Right?
Well, women have a tendency, in my experience, of putting men immediately on a pedestal. This is the greatest guy ever. And like you say, immediately, that's not going to tell you if you're in love with the man or not,
what
right?
happened is the woman, I think we are more filled with hopes than men. Men, you kind of think more analytical. You see the things. Women are cyclical. So the next man, you just know. I suffer so much with the last jerk I had. The next time, God's going to send me the perfect one because I already suffered enough. Maybe you didn't suffer enough. Maybe you learned nothing from the old man. And then the new guy that you have is going to be as bad as the other one or worse. He's going to be a perverted human. Who knows? But you put him in a pedestal and you think he's God. And then suddenly, he's nothing that you thought, and the pedestal falls really fast.
Oh, really? You go from that godly position to being in the dirt.
Even people that married somebody and say, I didn't know that about him. I didn't know that about him. Another thing, too, do you spend enough time together when you're in a relationship? Are you just going out for convenience? If I have a boyfriend and I'm going to meet him every Friday night because we're going to have a dinner, then we're going to have sex, hey, how convenient is that? You need to spend time with the person to get to know the person. It's not just a Friday night and sex when everything's great and you are horny as hell. You could, basically screw anybody and you'll be happy.